Hey y'all, and welcome to Monner's Market, and welcome to my money saving dupes video. I am going to show you how to take a $143 table riser and make it yourself for less than $25. So the first thing I did was went on Pinterest and found this beauty about two and a half years ago. It seems like now. It's been a long time, and I have been dying to get it, but I just could not make myself pay this much money plus tax plus shipping. So I got the measurements, went to Home Depot, and had the guy cut my wood for free. If you don't know that they will do that, they will absolutely cut the wood that you need for free. So this little fellow was sweet enough to cut all of my measurements for me, and one piece of board for everything that I needed will make 3 of those things. So it is a huge bargain. So this is just me throwing everything in my trunk and getting ready to go home. And this is me at home. These are my pieces. All of the measurements will be listed down in my description box to make sure that you have everything you need if you want to recreate this. This is going to be my bottom. And I took all of the pieces, took my little hand sander from the Dollar Tree, and I just went over everything and just sanded it down really good to make sure there weren't any little splinters or rough spots or anything, so that when I went to put it together, it would be a lot easier. So I took some hot wood glue, or wood glue, hot sticks, wood glue, however you want to say it. And I put that on there first just for a little bit more stability. And then once I got that on there, I went behind with my brad nailer, and I went to town just nailing it. And now those brad nails you cannot see. They sort of disappear into your wood. So I put several in there because, again, I wanted it to last for a long time. And this is a very big piece. It's very large. Now look, you see that on the front right there, that embellishment? I have literally looked for 2 years for that to make in like a clay mold. 2 years I've waited to make this thing, and it's because I looked and I looked and I looked. And I Googled and I searched, and I could never find the right mold. Well, lo and behold, the other day, I was just searching like random molds or something like that. I don't remember what I was searching. And these little things popped up, and it is identical to the ones that I found on Etsy. Actually, I found it on Pinterest through an Etsy link. I will list the link of the original creator down in my description box in case you want to go directly to her to get you one of these gorgeous pieces, because she does absolutely amazing work. And I'm telling you, she is worth all of the credit that we can give her, because they are just absolutely stunning pieces that she makes. And she has a really high rating on Etsy, so I'm going to leave all her information down in the description box below. And I have not been able to reach her to get her permission to say her name on here, so I'm not really going to put it out there, but I will leave all of her information down in my description box. Anyway, as you saw, I took my ivory chalk paint by Waverly, and I'm just going to go through and give everything 2 good solid coats of this ivory paint. Now, my first thought was to do it in the antique wax, wipe it down, and then sort of do the distress look that I love so much. But I wanted to try to keep it as close to the original as I could, except I was trying, y'all are probably going to laugh me out of this place. I was trying to do like this faux, what is it called? Rust look. And I failed miserably. So I may go back and repaint it, but I got called away on an emergency a couple of days ago, and I have not been able to go back and repaint it or anything. But it's really not that bad in the end. It's just that once I got it done and compared it to the one that was the original one, I really like the way she did her color scheme a lot better than the way I did my color scheme. But you don't have to do it in these colors. You can do it in literally any color you want to. If you have a pink and yellow living room, then make you a pink and yellow one. And actually, somebody asked me the other day if I could do oh gosh, what were the colors? It was so different together. I don't know. I'll have to look and see. But like two really funky colors that you would never imagine to be together. They asked me if I could do one of these in those colors. And I was like, okay, well, if that's what you like, you're going to pay for it. So anyway, once I got everything done, my husband saw a few little minor cracks in it. And he's like, why don't you let me put some, what did he call that stuff? Caulk in there and just fill in those little rough edges. I was like, no, it's okay. We like rugged. We like farmhouse. We like rustic. And he was like, yeah, no, that's driving me crazy. Let me add some of this caulking to it. And he did. And you know what? When it was dry the next day and I sanded it down a little bit, it made a huge difference, because right there where he's at now, there's two really big, deep knots. And I put them on the bottom on purpose so you couldn't hardly see them, but it was driving him crazy that those knots were there. So he would do little by little, layer by layer, let it dry, another layer, let it dry, till he filled those little knots in. And it worked like a charm. It really did work like a charm. So thank you, baby, for doing that for me. So now this is what my box looks like at this point. And that's just him sort of touching some things up for me. Now I'm just going to take my little smaller paintbrush and I'm going to go ahead and dab and sort of wipe all around both sides. Because when I painted it, I only painted the top, like I was swiping across the top. And there were lots of spaces on the side pieces that I missed painting. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just going back in and sort of covering everything up again, like I said, with a second coat. Now, the first coat gave really good coverage, but it had a lot of areas where you could still see through to the wood grain. And this piece, truly, I know I say it almost every video, but I mean it every video, and I truly mean it with this one. This is going to be one of my top 3 things that I've ever made. I love it that much, and it is so gorgeous. So anyway, I have no idea why I'm showing you me painting this thing for this long, but let me move on from painting for a second. Well, I don't mean move on from painting. I just mean move on from painting the front part right here. Y'all know some days I just can talk and get myself through a video, and other days I struggle, and today is one of those struggle days. So now all I'm doing is literally giving the rest of the entire box a second coat of the Ivory Chalk Paint by Waverly. Now, this I let sit overnight to dry completely because it was such a large area. And once it dried and I went back in the next day, I was tickled to death at the way it looked. Now, these are some handles that I picked to go on it. We're not going to put them on right now, but I just wanted to show these handles to you. This is me measuring the little screw that came with it to make sure that whenever I did screw it on, that the screw that they sent was long enough, and it was actually perfect. But look how pretty those are. They were only like $2.48 at, where'd I get them? Home Depot. Now, these are my finials that I got from Woodpecker Crafts, and I painted them with the antique wax and wiped it off, and this is what it gave me. These beautiful, beautiful, beautiful finials that I'm going to use as feet for my box. Look at how beautiful these things are. I am obsessed with these finials, especially using them for feet. To me, they make things look so rustic, so French country, so shabby chic. Like, I don't know, I can't get enough of them. I adore these little feet. And then after I got all of my feet on, which seems to be taking me forever, I am ready to distress it. So I'm going to go in with the Antique Wax by Waverly. And at first I wanted to just like kind of barely go over everything and then wipe it down. But once I wiped it down, it was so light, you couldn't really see anything. So I decided to go a little bit heavier on the distressing on top of the embellishments. And then I started like distressing the other edges, the top, the bottom, the sides. And as I did, one of them, I don't remember which corner it was, but on one of the corners, man, did I ever mess up. I spilt my paint out of my lid on the corner. So the only thing I could think to do was try to disguise it by wiping it down and making it look like it was intentional. So you will see the corners in just a few minutes where the corners are, I don't know, like painted a little bit heavier with the paint. But even though it kind of started out as an accident, I love the way it turned out. And you'll see here in just a second whenever I put my handles on what I'm talking about. I just ended up like heavily distressing all four corners to kind of make it match. But the way it looks right there was absolutely perfect to me. Like I was not going to go any further. I was super happy, very satisfied with it. And when I went to pick up the lid to put it on top of the paint, there it went. And I could have cried. But then I thought, you know what? Instead of taking it out and painting it and blah, 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 starting over, just make it look like it was supposed to be that way. So now I'm going to add, see, that's what I'm talking about, the edges right there. And I was like, well, it does kind of look like old and rusty, so wasn't a big deal. Anyway, now I'm going to add my little handles to the end. Now getting the camera angle right for this was a booger because my arm on my candle thing only stretches so far. So it's a really weird shot, but it's the best I could do. So now I'm taking my wood glue, hot glue sticks, and I'm just going to glue them down so that whenever I go to nail or screw it in rather on the other side, I'm not fighting to hold on to it while I'm trying to get the screws into it. So again, this thing is going nowhere. But anyway, once I got all of that done, I was ready to decorate it, and I pulled out some of my gorgeous greenery that I got from Temu recently, and I will actually leave a link to this also down in the comment section below. In the description box below. Lord God, I can't even talk tonight. My daughter had surgery today, and it did not go well. And it's probably, about 2 o'clock in the morning. But y'all, look at this. Is that not the most beautiful piece you have ever seen me make? If you don't think so, lie to me and tell me it's beautiful, because I need to hear it right now. Not really. If you don't like it, I understand. It's not everybody's vibe, as the kids say. But I am so in love with it. I love the distressing. I love everything about this box. And I could not be happier with my version for less than $25 stinking dollars. And again, like I said, I'm not saying that this other lady's box is not worth every penny of the $143 that she charges, because it takes a lot of work to make these, and you put a lot of your heart into it. So she's well deserved for asking any price she wants for them. And believe you me, plenty of people have ordered from her, and they are extremely happy with their purchase. But I'm just showing you just different ways to decorate it. Those little lights, the fairy lights, also came from Temu. I will also link them down in the description box below. But I'm just showing you different ways of how to style it, and what it looks like with the lights on, what it looks like with the lights off, and just give you kind of an all-around view of the box when I was done, because this is the only DIY that I'm doing today, because it took so long to make it, and I didn't want to drag it out by throwing something else in there just to have other DIYs. But I cannot wait to hear what you think about this down in the comment section below. I am extremely excited about it. So be sure to go to the description box and read the name of the original person who made this. And like I said, there will be a link to her things. And definitely let me know what you think about this box. What about the corners? Did you like them? Did you not like them? Like, tell me all about it. Tell me everything. And T-Way, if this is the first time you've ever been to Monner's Market, my name is Brenda, but my sweet grandbabies call me Monner. I always have a video on on Tuesdays at 8 o'clock, get my thoughts straight. On Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will have a video. And then on the 20th of every month at 3 p.m., I will also have a video, which this month, see y'all, I'm really messing up, but I'm too tired to redo this voiceover. The 20th does fall on a Tuesday, so I will not have an 8 o'clock video that day. I will only have my 3 p.m. video that day. And it's going to be a patriotic DIY video. So anyway, I went on and on way, way, way longer than I wanted to. I just wanted to say thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. Be blessed. Bye now.